Hello everybody, it's Vinyl Rich here. Vinyl Finds 98, I believe. Before I get started, I'd like to give a little shout out to Garen in Omaha, or just to let him know that I'm thinking of him. He's not making videos right now. Hopefully he's watching them and he sees this. If not, I might leave a little note on one of his videos. But yeah, I'm thinking of you, brother. Take care. I have some channels that are like regulars, and I go to. I usually try to watch all their videos. One is the Metal Theologian, and his last two videos were dealing with kind of psych music, and he made one on a record label, Void Records. It's a label I'm really not familiar with, and I really enjoyed that video. In fact, I went and checked out the label, and I actually ordered a couple of Void records. Probably be showing them in my next Vinyl Finds video. But I'm going to leave a link to that video. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It's, well, you watch the video and let him do the talking. The other one is Big Star 1000. He's been making some Gimme 10 videos that I thought were really good. He did like 4, I think, on the California sound. And now he's doing Pop Psych. I'll leave a link to one of his Pop Psych ones. And I'll leave a link to the Metal Theologian, the Void Records video. Anyways, I'm going to get started here. I traded in some more records at Amoeba, and this time I picked up one record in exchange. I saw it on the wall and I thought, you know what, that's a grail for me, and so I traded in 25 records thereabouts and got a grail. So this will be 3 grails in a row, my last 3 Vinyl Finds videos. But just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff I'm getting rid of, I'm going through my classic rock stuff. And I think I had 10, maybe 9 Linda Ronstadt albums, and I got rid of all of them. I have them on CD, so I don't need them on CD and vinyl, but I got rid of them all except for 4. And I'm thinking I could probably get rid of 3 of these because I have them on CD. But the ones I kept they're my favorite ones. This Linda Ronstadt, Simple Dreams. It has Blue Bayou on it. Fantastic song. This one here, Mad Love. I love this album. And Prisoner in Disguise. Pretty cool picture in the back there. And this one here, her first Spanish speaking. I don't have this on CD, so I will keep this, but I might get rid of those other 3. I mean, I really don't need them. Another artist I got rid of probably 4 or 5, and I kept 3 by him, is Elton John. And the 3 I kept might surprise people. Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. Caribou. And Rock of the Westies. Another band, I didn't get rid of any of theirs. It's Hall & Oates, their 70s stuff. Abandoned Luncheonette. Bigger Than the Both of Us. Beauty on a Back Seat. And finally, this one I have to look. Along the Red Ledge. There's also that one, the silver one. I want to get that one. I think that's the one that has Sarah Smiles. But I like the 70s Hall & Oates. The 80s stuff I'm not really a big fan of. But I wanted to show this album here. It's Daryl Hall's solo album, Sacred Songs, produced by Robert Fripp. This is a fantastic album, man. If you like King Crimson and you like Robert Fripp, and you run across this album, check it out. Highly recommend. Okay, so that's, I mean, I'm going through my classic stuff. I'm keeping those. And what I got this time, I picked up one record, and I got Cro-Mags, The Age of Quarrel. 86, classic, just classic hardcore punk rock, U.S. hardcore punk rock. This is a first pressing with, let me get it here, the censored sleeve. I guess some of the sleeves had this censored on there and some didn't. And this is what the label looks like. It's in great shape. And I didn't have this album. Let me get what I do have. Where is it at? It's not that big a deal. Should have been prepared. I have a 10-inch of Age of Quarrel, but it's not this album. Some of the songs aren't on there, and I believe it's different takes. So it's good to have this. This is a classic, fantastic album. Now, right now, Bomp Records, the website, the Bomp store, I guess it's called, or Bomp Records, I forget. They are selling, or they have a lot of Cramps bootlegs that are being produced in Europe. And I got 4 of them that I was going to get. And then I said, let me look at some other stuff. And I ended up only getting one of the Cramps one. And it's this one. It's a live one. I think it's 82. Live at the Clutches Cargos. And this is with Kid Congo Powers. And this from Gun Club. And this also has the drummer from Gun Club, Terry Graham. Fantastic album. Really good quality. And it's a double album. The whole show, I would imagine. Pretty cool labels. There's Lux with a microphone shoved up his mouth. And there's, on the B side is Poison Ivy. But yeah, they have some other good ones. They had some 70s live ones. There's one, it's called the Frankenfurter. It's pretty good quality, but there's some screaming fans in there, and it's like, God, it's annoying. So, and there's one, Tales from the Cramps. That's a really good bootleg. I have some of those songs already, so I decided, I don't need that one. But I'll probably end up going back and getting it. And there's also one, the Ohio Demos. I have that already. That's a good one. Check it out. I ended up only getting the one Cramps, and I ended up picking 3 other things up. And this one here is The Sun, the Moon, the Mountain. A Passage Through Greek Psychedelia. Now, I'm not sure if Hippie DJ Kit showed this album or talked about it. I'm thinking he did, but I might be... Wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's all current bands from Greece. And some really cool stuff. Some of it's kind of modern day psych. Some of it kind of sounds like Soundgarden and that kind of sound. But yeah, this one band here, Krang, Kraang. I really dug that song. And I checked out one of their albums online. It's pretty cool. It's just like a big jam. The side A is one song, side B is another song. I might check out them. And this other band here, I can't pronounce them. Taul and the Villagers of Ionini City. Wakey Wakey. That was a pretty good one. Wakey Wakey Shaky Shaky. It's about an earthquake. And that's what the label looks like. The sun, the moon, the mountain. And it comes with this insert. And the lyrics to the songs. These are all previously unreleased stuff, except for one song is taken from an album. I got another comp. This is Cumbia's Psychedelicas Volume 1. I don't know what that is. This is like mostly early 70s stuff, maybe mid 70s cumbias, mixed in with some psych and fuzz guitar. Some of the songs are not real psych, but most of them are. And it's pretty cool. In my neighborhood where I live, most of the parties, they're playing Latin music. And one of my favorites has always been the cumbias. It's very danceable, you know. And it's better than that banda. It sounds like circus music. Polka and circus music mixed together. I can't stand that. But yeah, this is a pretty cool album. There's a couple of songs where the guitars are kind of that ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling, kind of ventures. I don't know, surfy kind of. They're not as good as the fuzzy ones, but really cool album. And it comes with this insert. And very cool. All from Peru. And it's got a little mamacita on the cover. And I'm having a hard time getting the records. And this label is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now this fourth record I got, it's another comp, and it's on Box Records. And this is fantastic. This is probably my favorite of the 3 comps. It's what is it called? Beyond the Calico Wall. This is an album that Vox released in 1990. I guess they do this occasionally. They run across records in the Bomp warehouse, and they ran across these first pressings. They do not have the insert though. That's the only problem. And this is on the website right now, and it's really cool on the box label. Very cool label. But yeah, this is some really fuzzed out, really, it's more of a psych comp than a lot of it's not a real garagey. It has some fuzz and the little garage tinges, but it's more leaning on the psych side of things. And it's got some that are just plain weird stuff. What is this song? I can't remember now. Yeah, Vendetta, the Hooterville Trolley, Park Avenue Playground. Yeah, there's something, one of the songs, something Susie's Gone. Yeah, it's just weirdness. But yeah, this is really cool. Now, I mentioned before that my daughter's going to Cal State Fullerton. And one day, actually yesterday, I went to go pick her up, and she was in her lab class and they weren't done yet. So I told her, you know what? Do I have time to go look in the record store and for a little bit? And she goes, yeah, sure, go. It's less than a mile away. So I picked up 3 things there, and I was able to get Kaleidoscope's 3rd album. I was always leery of this album. The first 2 albums, the album covers are kind of psychedelic, that 60s psychedelic look. This one here looks more like, could be a Eagles or something, you know? And it's one of those uni press or whatever, you know? It's a little bit unglued here. Not a little bit. It's unglued. That can be glued, no biggie. But this is fantastic, man. These guys, I love these guys. And they remind me of DJ Hippie Kid. And I think it's the second album, Beacon from Mars. At the beginning of the album, there's a line that goes, all I need is soothing satin sounds of making in my mind is where I go to be. And it just reminds me of hippie DJ Kid, you know. But yeah, this is, I dig it. I don't think it's quite as good as the first 2. The first song is, is kind of similar to the ones on the first two albums, but the production's a little bit different. Lie to Me, it's on Epic, and it's kind of like a love song kind of thing. So it's a little that aspect's a little bit different too. The second one is Let the Good Love Flow. It kind of has a country feel. And then they do Tempe, Arizona, another kind of country-ish. And then Petite Fleur, I can't remember that one. And then the fifth song is Banjo. And that's just David Lindley playing banjo. And it's kind of psych. I mean, I never thought banjo could sound like psychedelic, but it does. And really cool. Side 2 is just 2 songs, Cuckoo and 7/8 Sweet. And side 2 is definitely more psych, kind of the Middle Eastern sounds that they have on their first 2 albums. But yeah, I highly recommend this. I recommend all 3 of their first 3 albums. The funny thing about this band, I'm just getting into them. Their 4th album, which I think this came out in '69. Their 4th album came out in 1970, and I did hear that back in the day, probably 71, 72, and I did not like it, and that kind of put me off from exploring any of their stuff, you know. But yeah, I'll pick up that one. You can get it pretty cheap. See how it is compared to these. If I remember it right, it's more of a country-ish sound, guitar. But yeah, the thing about Kaleidoscope, the musicianship on this is fantastic. I mean, they are fantastic musicians. Second one is a little bit different. It's Broken Bones, A Single Decade. Now, I kind of thought this was a bootleg. The cover looks pretty dodgy. It's pretty grainy photo. And this photo here is a lot clearer, but I think it's because they cropped it down. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Broken Bones. They kind of get lumped in with English Dogs, that punk with a little kind of heavy metal leanings. A lot of it predates the thrash that, you know, heavy metal would evolve into, or that arm of heavy metal. But yeah, they're not as good as the English Dogs. But in my opinion, the English Dogs are better than every thrash band out there. They're bigger than I think they're better than the Big Four. But this band isn't as good as the English Dogs, and it's because of the vocalist. He's not as good as the singer for the English Dogs. The guitar player, he is the original guitar player, I believe, from Discharge. So, what this is their first 4 7-inches. So this is probably all I need. I like their punk. This is their real punky. It's real kind of Discharge-y punk sound. I like this better than kind of the metal leaning years, because I just don't think the vocalist really pulls it off. Not like the guy from English Dogs. That guy is fantastic, and it's a good album. I really dig this. I don't know if you can see that label. It's a skeleton head, but yeah, it's a good album. It's a legit release apparently, because it is listed on Discogs. Came out in 2015 maybe, or something like that. Now the third one I got, I went to Burger Records. That's the record store that's close to Cal State Northridge. And the third one is the one that I'm most excited about. And this is White Flag. S is for space, is it? Yeah, S is for space. We don't care if it's a drag. Surrender now. Raise the white flag. I believe this is White Flag's first album. I call it an album. It's very short. It's got maybe 12, 14 songs, but the songs are very short. But fantastic. It's not like their album Third Strike, which is fantastic. This is more of sloppy, kind of like the first Red Cross album. real sloppy punk. But yeah, this is, man, I was really jazzed. You don't see this. And really cool label there. That's fantastic. And it's on the Gasatanka label. But yeah. Hope that's my screenshot, man. White flag. Anyways, that's what I have to show. All good records. All really good records in one grail. Crow Mags. Take care, everybody. Take care, Garen. Thinking of you, brother.